Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome back.
Yes, to this um
to this crazy clearing.
Yeah. We opened space and we reacted very differently. Mari-Lyn and I did. Yes. I got sort of taken down. I felt the dread, just really ungrounded and just sad. And I don't feel real well. And this is what happened to Mari-Lyn.
This is what happened to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for all of you first timers here, we welcome you. I'm Pam.
I'm Mari-Lyn.
This is Jade.
Hello.
Yes.
Jade, please welcome. We're so glad you reached out.
Yes.
We are very excited to do this. Okay.
She's giggling. Yes.
I am energetically drunk.
Yes.
I am energetically drunk. I'm going to say it. I hate it. I don't like this.
No.
Now that I've realized what it is.
Yes. And we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will.
Yes. This is not spirit drunk. Like sometimes when we get the high vibration, we're in it, we're just laughing and there's that spirit drunk. This is different. So Jade, please tell us why you reached out, please.
All right. I've pushed her away.
So first I want to say I live really close to an airport. So in case you hear lots of loud noise, there will be possibly planes going over my house. So anyway.
All right. Thank you.
Belfast, in the area where all like the shipbuilders would have lived, building the Titanic and stuff like that. It's all reclaimed land. So I live in the house that my gran and granda bought when they got married. They both died in this house. My dad and his brother and sister grew up in this house, and when my granny died in 2017, I pretty much inherited the house. Well, I didn't inherit the house, but I was given the option if I wanted to live in this house and make it my own, make it my home. And I said yes. I spent a lot of time in this house growing up. My granny would have looked after us. The area is really familiar to me. It's always an area I wanted to live in anyway. But so the renovations for the house started in 2020. Just before the pandemic hit. So I moved out in with my mum and dad while all that was going on, and the work continued as and when it could, really. But there was always delays. Things always seemed to go wrong. People coming into the house to do work and they weren't either good or they weren't nice. And I just kind of felt that the house didn't want to be lived in. That I kept saying to my parents, is saying, I feel like the house doesn't want to be lived in. I feel like I'm not wanted here, pretty much.
Right.
But I persevered, and the house, everything's new except for the kitchen.
Okay.
New floors, new walls, carpet, everything new. Right. And I'm really proud of it, but I feel really uneasy. I don't feel unsafe, but I feel really uneasy in the house. Okay. I'm always seeing things out of the corner of my eyes. I'm getting weird smells. Like I said to you yesterday, I'll smell like stale cigarette smoke.
Yes.
Not fresh.
It's like such an awful smell.
Stuck in your clothes. It's horrible. So I'll get that in my bathroom. And I kind of thought, I live in a terrace block, so I'm on the end and there's 4 other houses beside me. I kind of thought, maybe somebody smoked and it was traveling through the roof spaces or under the floorboard.
We always make excuses, don't we? We try to find some, even if it doesn't quite fit, we will. Yes, that's so normal. Yes.
I will tell myself things to like make myself believe them, even though deep down I'll be like, no, that's stuff. Yes. I said to you yesterday as well, I have a wee dog, but she lives with my parents because I work and I live by myself, so I don't like leaving her by herself. Yeah. But when she is here and she stays with me, she follows me everywhere. She doesn't leave me alone. She will follow me to the toilet. She will sleep in my bed. She will follow me outside. And she just doesn't really seem as like comfortable as she does at my parents' house, which also makes me really sad.
Sure.
My friend brought her dog over a few weeks ago, and it just barked and growled in the direction towards the kitchen. And my kitchen is attached to like a wee tiny yard. It's maybe only like 2 meters wide by 4 meters or 5. It's very small. But it kept barking towards there, and then we would hear like noises coming from the kitchen, and we're telling each other to ignore it. We're like, turn the music up and ignore it, and it'll go away, or it's not real. But the dog wasn't happy, pretty much is what I can say.
Yeah.
The flies. You told us about flies.
Yeah. So when the renovations was happening and I wasn't living in the house at the time, I came into the house one day and there was just dead flies everywhere. Hundreds of them. Like, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It was like something out of a horror film. I felt they were on the windowsills, they were on the floors, everywhere. And we couldn't like smell like dead animals, or the windows weren't left open. The chimneys were blocked, so they couldn't have got down that way. It was really, really, really strange. And I kept saying to my mum, this is a bad omen. This is another sign that I should be living here. And she's like, don't be so silly. It's just one of these, like, it just like, there could be like because I didn't have my floors down at the time, so it was just like the floorboards. And she says they could have come up for, there could be like a dead rat or something under the floors, and they've just come up. And I thought, there's no way. There's no way. I'm pretty good at convincing myself that things didn't happen, but I just knew. I was like, there's no way. So that was a really strange occurrence.
Yes.
And like, I mean, I try to keep my space as tidy and clutter free as possible. Like, tidy space, tidy mind, sort of tidy energy. So that's what I like. That's what I try to do in this house. That I just try to make it as manageable as possible. Really, I guess I could say.
Well, we're
glad obviously we're not knowing how to do what you guys do, and I wouldn't dare attempt it. So that's
good.
Well, because
I will say your house is above the normal person's pay grade as far as clearing it up.
Okay. Oh dear.
There's stuff going on here, and
excuse me.
Yes. So now after we clear it, doing whatever it is, if you do sage or just intent, whatever you do to energetically clear your home, it'll work then afterward.
Well, that's there's too much. Sorry for interrupting, but that's funny you say that, because I did try that at the start, and I usually do like burn incense and stuff just because I like the smell of it.
Yeah.
But I have just not felt called or like felt encouraged to do that.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you should say that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm psychic or something. It's so weird. It's so weird. Okay. So wow, there is a lot to talk about here.
Yeah.
Should we start with just the opening? I know we talked a little bit. So we opened space. Jade was actually on the call with us when we did that. After our consultation, I put a guardian with Jade, and that helped immediately. I hadn't even finished saying there's a guardian standing behind you, and your face was already brighter, and you kind of had it like you felt him right away. Yeah, which was very comforting for us to know until we could get to you, which what hasn't been that long, but until we could get to you that you felt safe,
Mhm.
that you felt safe. And okay, so we opened space and I immediately felt just this dread, didn't feel well, was ungrounded. You saw Mari-Lyn just.
Yeah, now I didn't get that drunk feeling immediately. But I started getting visits by, there were 3 different people that I got visits by. 2 male, 1 female, and the female just kept, she was like in and out, in and out, in and out. And then I got the headache, and the headache definitely was from her.
Yeah.
And so I kind of had to push her away because the headache was getting pretty severe. That's when I asked you, Jade, if you get headaches. Yeah, part of it's from her.
Oh, I do want to mention something that we didn't mention, where you work. We didn't mention that since we got on camera.
We have not mentioned where you work.
So do you want to talk just a smidge about that? Because that will, what she's going through, start making a little more sense.
Okay. So I work in a tap room attached to a brewery, which is in one of the oldest mills in Ireland. So it's a very, very, very old building. And actually, the night before we had our consultation, I came home and was violently sick all night. Felt fine when I was leaving work, and got into bed and I thought, oh my goodness, I don't feel well, and was actually woken up with like the feeling of needing to be sick. And that's never, I don't really know if that's ever happened to me before. I just put it down to a tummy bug because it's going around at the minute. It's that time of year, but you guys said that it was probably something
not. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so this female, she
and again, we're so sorry that you went through that. I want to make sure that, I mean,
because that really is an awful, it's awful to experience when it's,
and there's a bit of fear to that too. You don't know what's going, it's so like, there's nothing you can do to stop what's happening. It's coming. And I've been there many a time with my paranormal journey.
Anyways, it was after I had asked Jade about the headaches. She, she stepped away. I had kind of pushed her away, told her, we'll talk to you later. But then she just started coming in, and that's when that drunk energy just hit me.
Yep.
And it hit me pretty good.
Yes. You do have drunks that follow you home.
Okay.
You do have, here's the thing about spirit. This is why, we're pretty clear about what an attachment actually is. People in the sort of ghost hunting world would say, oh, she has an attachment. You don't have an attachment.
Nope.
That's something different. Attachment comes from an emotional bond that you have with, and you don't have that. They follow you. They follow you home. They
follow you back to work, and they follow you. Well, she does.
Yes. And she feels, like she's been around for a long time. Right? Yeah. Yes. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No.
Inject
you're
things
fine. You're fine. Sometimes she just hangs out at your house for a while, but sometimes she will follow you to work, and she'll follow you home, and she'll follow you back to work.
Yes.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
No.
Not very often will she stay away. So she's either following you back and forth, or she's just camped out at your house.
Yes. And there's something about spirits. Like, can they actually like get in your car and go home with you? Yep. We've had, that happens. But she's more, there's something with once they've been someplace, it's like there's an energetic map there that they can always get back to. And it's like a road they can follow all the time. So she doesn't have to get in the car with you and come home or walk me, follow you out to the whatever. You're going home and poop.
I liken it to Beam Me Up, Scotty.
Oh, yes. Yes.
She just transports.
Yes.
Okay.
For all of you Star Trek, for any of you who are old enough to remember, or maybe all the reruns. Yes.
That's
yes.
right. That's my
yes. Yeah, we're dating ourselves there. So
yeah.
And there are others. So there are others that follow too. There is, so when you talked about the flies, I wrote that down to make sure that I would remember to say something today, because I wanted to look into that after we open space. And it actually feels there is, now it's not a portal. We just went over what a portal is versus a doorway versus an opening. There's just sort of this opening in your space, and it's fairly low vibrational. It's not something that, like, we're not going to get low vibrational beings coming up through. It's not a portal. It's not a way in and out. It's just sort of like a big hole, sort of. I'm trying to think of what they're showing me, like a crevice or something. And
so did this happen during the renovation, or has this been there?
Oh, I think it's been there.
It's been there.
Yes. And it all with the house was just sort of, the house settled over the top of it. The house settled within everything. And then you started renovating, and renovations mess. They just start messing everything up. Right. And so it just sort of brought it back to life. Like it's a wound, and
okay. That's why then the renovation is hitting me, because that's
and flies, ants, other bugs are really, it's almost like they get sucked into that crevice or that dip in the dimensions. And it's like they can't get out. It's like they're just flying around, help. And so they just accumulated there. They can't get out. So that's what happened. That's what I get, what happened there. It wasn't, in the movies, we're told that's a sign of demonic possession and all sorts of, no, you are not, there's no demonic anything there.
No.
So,
well,
so no. And you would know if there's a demonic possession.
Yeah.
There's no mistaking that. There just isn't. So that's what's going on with those darn flies. And I am so sorry. Ugh. And then the renovation wasn't finished yet, right? So you had said that was just down to the subflooring, and then now they put floor over the top, and you've put furniture in there, and I mean, everything's been finished, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's energetic and it's still there, there's something about the physical structure that goes on around it that sort of helps keep it sturdy.
It's been band-aided.
Yes, like a band-aid. Yeah.
You said the renovation like opened up that wound. The renovation was completed, and it's got a band-aid on it.
Yeah, but it's still there. So we will take care of that, obviously, today. I think this cigarette smells, that stale smell. You might be able to say more about that.
I think it could partly be this woman. Definitely coming partly from one of the, maybe both of the men.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Probably both of the men.
Okay.
Yeah, just that stale, icky, that stale smell. Like you had talked about, it gets in your clothes and it just sticks there, and it's, ugh.
Yeah.
There's a feeling of homelessness to the men, or at least one. And there's that sort of that smell that comes from not being able to shower for a while, and what your clothes feel, and it mixes with body odor, and that's what I'm getting anyway. That's that smell.
I do think I have seen a man before, not physically, but like in my mind's eye.
Okay.
And possibly out in the yard as well, but it's always over in this sort of area here.
Yeah.
A man wearing like a long coat and like a like a trench coat almost. Just standing, not like interacting, but just standing there.
Yep. And a little older. Yeah.
Yeah, like in his like early
70s.
60s.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I see too. So yes, you're dead on there with that.
The mill that used to be was that a steel mill?
I think it was linen. I'm nearly sure it was linen.
Linen. Okay.
First linen.
Okay.
Yes.
But I mean, in the area that I live, you know, I live very close to the shipworks, so there would have been like steel mills and stuff.
Okay.
You know, shipbuilding and stuff.
Yeah.
Really close, like a 5-minute walk away from where I live.
I think one of those men is probably from a steel mill.
Yeah. And there was a lot of crime in that area too.
Probably it was a very first area, you know, it was lower class, you know,
Yep. You can feel all of that. And all of that energy is really settled in your space and around you. You really feel that. So
yeah. All
right. Okay. And we certainly want to take care of this now and get this going. So
yes, please.
Yeah. And the longer you live and stuff like that, as we all know, you get illnesses, mental, emotional, physical illnesses will start popping up, and no one knows why. Maybe there's a name to it, but you don't know, the doctor's like, well, I don't know how you would, or whatever like this, that so much stuff can happen. So it all blend for me, what I get is where you work, it's not just the building. You have taken, because you live in that, you work in that, your energy has just become that there's a lower vibration to it. And
it's like a sponge.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know what this was, but
it's a sponge.
That's what that was.
Sponge.
Yes. And things follow you home and they stay there for a while. They go back and forth, especially the drunk lady. She certainly comes from the bar. But I also keep getting flashes of a lot of like bottles of whiskey or whatever in a paper bag. Like that type of, like the homeless guy, like the man, like smoking, drunk, walking down the street with his like very much like you'd see in the movies, that type of feel to it. So yeah, let's take care of this. So how would you like to start?
Well, should we have her show us the house?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do we do that? I'm all ready to go here.
Here we go. So this is my like it's a very small house. It's what we call a 2 up, 2 down. So it's like this used to be like partitioned off of the wall, but I have had it all knocked down, and it's like open space now. So it's very small, but it's big enough for me.
Absolutely.
This is the kitchen. So this was actually my granda built this. It was an extension. So originally it would have only gone up to this wall here, and this bit here would have been the kitchen or the scullery.
I immediately my stomach just flipped in there.
Oh, and I just start giggling because that drunk woman just makes all kinds of noise in this kitchen.
Yeah, well, that's where the noise usually comes from. So,
she's clanking things around and trying to find another bottle.
And I'm just over here feeling nauseous. Yes.
See, not really a big drinker, so I wouldn't have like
Good.
lots of alcohol lying around the house or anything like that. I wouldn't,
Mhm.
that's not really the lifestyle I lead.
Which is good.
That is a good thing.
Although you work in it. So
Yeah.
there's a certain amount of your vibration that is alcoholic
Yeah.
or alcohol, maybe not
It's-
alcoholic, but alcohol.
Right.
Yeah. This is like the wee yard I was telling you about. I don't know if you can really see it. The light's
Okay.
not working. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
and then on the other side of that, there's like a long garden. And then where that tree is, there's like a wee bit of a garden as well that I have. But that's quite unheard of for these houses. I'm quite lucky because I live on the end.
Yes.
I have the space for a wee bit, but usually in these houses, it's just that wee area there. So yeah, this is the kitchen.
I'm going to start with that kitchen. I've got to. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is. Do you want me to move on or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So out here then is the hallway. So that's my front door. And when I was doing the renovations, I tried to like bring back as much of the the natural
Yeah.
characteristics of the
Yeah.
house. So this is the stairs.
Beautiful.
I've actually slipped down these stairs before and I don't think it was me.
No, it might even have been her.
So yeah, this is the landing. This is the bathroom. The only color in my house.
Yeah, the younger man likes to just hang out in there.
This is my bedroom. So this is at the back of the house.
Ooh.
The
Ooh. Boy.
You okay?
Mm-hmm. The kitchen it's done as far as I'm concerned. It's still, the energy's still moving, but I've done what I can do in there. And ooh, it just sort of flipped me around.
Oh.
It went from that low vibrational muck to
Uh-huh.
boop. Okay, you're yeah.
Oh, so now you're a little lightheaded
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah.
It's almost like you sit up too fast and you go, whoa,
Yeah.
a head rushy thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Sorry, Jade. Go ahead.
this is my bedroom here.
Yeah.
This would have been my dad and his brother's bedroom whenever they were younger. And then this would have been the main bedroom, which is now the spare bedroom.
Oof. Ah, this one does not feel good to me either.
No,
So
it
what's
doesn't.
below that in your house? What would be below this room?
Like the living area, so where I was sitting before I started walking around.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this room too.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then final room, which is the tiniest room in the house, it's my wardrobe.
Okay.
So it's very there's not really a lot
Okay.
you can do with this room apart from put
all
my stuff in. So that's pretty much it. Do you need me to go into any of the rooms again or?
I would like you to go back into the kitchen.
Okay.
I'd like to see how that.
Sure.
Get this off of me and then go in clean.
Okay. The kitchen's always freezing as well. I don't know if I should point that out. I don't know if it's like But I say that and it's actually not freezing anymore.
Yeah. I was just gonna say it shouldn't be anymore. Ooh, that feels a lot better.
Yeah, it feels like the rest of the house, like
Yeah.
cozy and warm.
Good. Yeah. All right. Should I just go ahead and what? Oh, just go ahead and
Finish the house?
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And then you'll take care of the
Yeah. This woman, she really doesn't want to talk. She had no problem showing me that she's the one that clinks around in the kitchen. She looks for empty bottles, or not empty bottles, more bottles. She's looking for booze. But she really doesn't want to share really any information about herself. The two men that I first encountered, one was the man that you described, older, 60s, 70s. The other one that I encountered, I'm going to say 20s, maybe 30s, very slender. I think he also came from your work. It doesn't feel like he follows you though. He came home with you and he camps out. He likes the bathroom upstairs.
and the stairway. I'm gonna say he
The
sits
stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I think it reminds him of somewhere he used to stay.
Home, not home, but home.
Yes.
Somewhere where he felt safe.
Yep.
He feels safe with you.
Mm-hmm.
He feels very safe in your house. You're very sisterly to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I want to absolutely give credit where credit is due here. In many situations that we've come into that are similar to yours, the homeowner forms an attachment with and you have not done that. So bravo
No.
to you. You have
Yeah.
not done that. That is so good. That
I mean, I didn't even pick up on the younger guy, but if anything, you know, I'm very private. I'm very like protective over my spaces, and I wouldn't want strangers, and I wouldn't invite strangers into my house.
Good.
So I wouldn't invite a ghost into my house.
Right. Yes.
Certainly wouldn't want them to stay.
Bravo. Bravo.
So I feel a bit like violated.
Sure.
And
yes.
I'm also a wee bit, you know, if he sees me as a sister, you know, that obviously says a lot to who I am as a person. And
Yes.
in a way, I'm glad he feels safe, but also he's not welcome, you know.
Yeah.
In kindness and in love, he's not welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are both.
And that is actually the kindest thing you can do.
It really is. It really is. They both understand that they are going to be crossed over. They're ready. I don't have a hold of that older man anymore.
Okay. He probably just, I'm guessing just when I cleared things up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't
I
have
really brought in some high vibration. He just, sometimes they're ready to, because he was a little more, he wasn't as solid. And so he was, there is a point when they're ready to go. They've been around long enough where they're getting really, I know this sounds, it's
I'm
like
going to go ahead and cross them over while you're.
They're sort of they're tired of, there's nothing left there for them. They're not chasing anything anymore. They're not, you know, they are just, you know, you just get tired of being tired and you're ready for something different. And I think he was just at that point, and he'd been an earthy for quite some time. And so he was just sort of fading, kind of like in physical life, we end up dying. There is a certain place of dying within, when you're an earthy as well. And so I think he just let the light absorb him when I was cleaning everything up.
Good for him.
Yes.
So they've both crossed over? He wanted to express his gratitude to you.
Oh.
His words were, "Thank you, love."
Oh.
She expressed the same thing just because she thought it was so beautiful. His was very, very heartfelt.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang it.
And that's a real,
Oh.
I'm going to say it again, tribute to you that you did not form that attachment with them. You did not. And yeah, attachments are so unhealthy. It's just, and many people, first of all, you live alone, right?
Mhm.
Oftentimes we see attachments with when there's more than one person there too, but we really see it a lot with people who live alone. They just form that because it feels like a family member, and they talk themselves into believing it is a family member.
They do very often, very often.
And so you did not do that. Bravo to you. Bravo. So would you mind just kind of walking through the house and tell me if you feel any different? We know the kitchen feels different.
So this is the dinner again. I mean, the place feels warmer.
Good. Good.
I'll go upstairs again.
I love the green door.
I do too.
There's a sticker for a new shade of green to go on, but the original door was green, so I wanted to, sort of retribute to
Absolutely
my granny and granda. So yeah. It's hard to really know. I think just sort of I've been like living here.
Yep. And the energy is still shifting. It's going to be several days of that shift happening.
I do feel a bit more at home.
Good.
No, I never, even though this house has had.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Jade. Go into the bathroom, would you please?
Yep. Well, it doesn't smell.
Yay!
Good. Good.
Suppose it kind of really feels a bit lighter.
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
And really, I'm sort of like, what I'm most looking forward to is like feeling the happiness coming back in again. Does that make sense?
And it will.
Because I'm not like a negative person or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah.
Very good at trying to sort of be positive and stuff, but I guess really oppressive, is that the right word?
That is the perfect word.
Perfect word.
Yep.
But it definitely feels warmer as I'm walking around the house. Sort of the last few months, even with the heating on, it's felt cold.
Yeah.
But now there's no drafts or anything.
When grids get what they call them last night in the word messy. It can really you'll have cold spots and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Especially in the kitchen, but none of that.
Yeah, good.
Anymore. Which is great. You can't see me, but I'm smiling.
Good, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yay. Yes, and I did the little yard too, just to so that's done. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and your car. I'll get your car. Oh, yes. There you go. Done.
Nice.
Yeah. Wonderful. So I don't know what else what we're going to do is we'll keep Jade here We'll let everyone else go. And
Yeah.
what we'll talk to you about is how to now keep yourself at a higher vibration, how to, because you're going to still go to work, which we haven't done anything there, which, boy, that would be awesome if the owners would let us go there. However,
I'm tired just thinking about that.
I know. So, and how to sort of keep yourself from bringing anything home again. And it's going to happen. Let me say it will happen. And we'll give you some tools to sort of tell them to go back to where you either, get a hold of us and we'll help you, but nothing's going to stay. Actually, as I'm saying that, I'm sort of being corrected here. Things might sort of follow you and show up for a minute but they'll go back. But we'll also talk to you about how to do those, how to sort of keep them from, but it's going to be you going back to your practices of whatever those saging or whatever it is that you do. Also getting your car is going to be really important since that's really the vehicle back and forth from work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I usually
do you walk?
I usually walk to work, but sometimes I'll have sometimes I'll have the car, but not that often. I'll usually walk.
So it's a walk. All right. Okay, thank you. So that changes that.
So that makes it even more important about your energy, your vibration. Yeah. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for all of you out there, we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have activity, please reach out. You can reach us through our website, tcseverydaypsychics.com.
Yep.
And
it doesn't have to be on our channel. Jade, we're so appreciative that you allow us to put this on our channel, because that really helps give people permission to contact us, or someone watches this and they go, oh, I'm experiencing that same thing. Maybe it's paranormal.
Yep.
Because honestly, and I know I say this all the time, but most of the clearings that we do are not on our channel. So we can, not we, Mari-Lyn and I only do the ones that are on the channel. The other ones are amazing. I still call them students, and they're really not. We have several that are professional now, but
some are not students,
but I still call them students because they were my student, right? So anyway, it can still happen. We can still get it done.
Yes.
Whether it's on here or not.
On here or not. Yeah. There is options.
Yes. TCSEverydayPsychics.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
We do.
And please like, subscribe, share, all of that, because we really want to get our message out there. We really do have a different perspective on the paranormal than
than that $1 billion industry out there. Yeah. We really do.
So
all right. Stay with us, Jade. And everyone else, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.